Hi, this is Dr. John Preston from Alliant International University in San Francisco, and I want to talk to you about two articles that have recently come out that really underscore the tremendous importance of children and teenagers getting adequate sleep. A study done back in 2004 showed that between 1904 and 2004, Americans on average are sleeping 1.5 hours less per night. And the real question is, to what degree can we reduce total sleep time and not have it interfere with the ability to function well emotionally and cognitively? William Shakespeare said it all many years ago: sleep is the bath and balm of hurt minds. And when people don't get adequate sleep, they pay a price. This is a graphic representation of different stages of sleep during the night, with the well-known REM, rapid eye movement sleep, at the top, where lots of dreaming occurs, and non-REM sleep stages 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's in non-REM sleep, especially stages 3 and 4, that human beings get the majority of slow wave sleep. Slow wave sleep is also referred to as restorative sleep or deep sleep. And in research studies dating back 20 years, it's been clear that if people are deprived of slow wave sleep, they pay a price in terms of daytime fatigue, cognitive problems, especially difficulties paying attention, and some emotional dysregulation. And for most people, that would be in terms of decreased frustration tolerance and irritability. So let's take a look at these two articles. This article that was published in the journal Sleep interviewed 15,659 parents and teenagers of a very large sample size, grades 7 through 12. What they did is they looked at bedtimes and reports of mood problems, especially depression and suicidal ideas, in the 12 months prior to being interviewed. And what they found is that a number of parents would have mandatory bedtimes at 10 o'clock at night, and to the surprise of the researchers, most adolescents were actually compliant with this. The study was important because it matched for age, sex, ethnicity, and parental marital status, which are important variables. And what they found, in a very convincing kind of fashion, was that later bedtimes, and this is when kids are allowed to stay up as late as they want, going to bed at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock at night, were associated with significant increases in depression and suicidal ideas. Later than midnight versus going to bed before 10 p.m., you can see by the slide that 24% more likely to be depressed with the later bedtimes, and 20% more likely to have suicidal ideas that were experienced during the previous year. The next study, also coming out this year by Owens et al. In the Archives of Adolescent Medicine, looks at something that's been recognized for a long time, and that is teenagers, their circadian cycle begins to shift. It's not just that they like to stay up late, sleep in, but there's an actual shift in the circadian cycle where it would be normal to have later bedtimes and sleep in the next day. On this slide, you can see that what they did is they looked at high school students, grades 9 through 12, 201 students, and they did an experiment. And what they did is they delayed the start of school for the first class just a small amount, from 8 o'clock to 8:30, taking into consideration that maybe shifting the schedule would make a difference in terms of outcomes. What they found was, in doing this, first off, the students got more sleep, on average about 45 more minutes of sleep per night. But the important thing here is significant improvement in terms of decreased daytime fatigue, increased alertness, and decreased depression. In another video that we're going to put up on YouTube soon, I'm going to be talking about substances that interfere with deep sleep, which is also a very critical issue. But I think these data strongly suggest that having parents who are involved in really making sure that teenagers get adequate amounts of sleep, and of course children also, these two studies, however, were with teenagers. The optimal amount of sleep that most teenagers need is 9 hours a night, and yet many, if not the majority of teenagers, are chronically sleep deprived. Sleep does matter, and the implications are important in terms of school performance, but also emotional health. Okay, thank you for listening.